Hello, my lovelies. Well, this is my old farts review of Alien Romulus, the latest in the Alien franchise, which was offering so much to an audience and a fan base that is longing for an Alien film that isn't up itself and trying to be too cerebral in its reason for being. Now, I'm old enough to remember and going to see the original Alien film, which there was a lot of excitement about. It wasn't a blockbuster in the sense of Jaws or Star Wars, but there was a lot of interest in it. And when I was watching at the time, I knew this was going to be a memorable classic film. Then came Aliens, which was nearly as good as the original. I mean, in my mind, nothing can better the original Alien. I'd say that it was, in its own right, a successful film. James Cameron produced a really successful film then, which was unusual back in those days. Sequels were rare, and you could guarantee they'd usually be a great disappointment. Quite rightfully, Aliens has become a classic in its own right. Then, after that, it just went downhill, the Alien films, and I include the prequels as well, Prometheus and the others, which were just too far up themselves and became boring and confusing. Now we get to Alien Romulus, which wanted to capture the feeling of the original Alien film and Aliens, and if that was the intention, they did that. It was a success. They successfully emulated the feel of the original two films. And that's what I found most appealing about this film. It was atmospheric. They really got the atmosphere well. Another really strong point about the film was the acting. The acting was spot on. Now, when I was watching it, Kaylee Spaney kept on reminding me of Veronica Cartwright's character of Lambert in the original Alien. She didn't remind me of Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver as Ripley was very in control and she was always sure of what she was doing. Whereas Kaylee Spaney in this came across more like the Lambert character in the first one. Very vulnerable at times and very confused and willing to show that emotion by crying or being on the verge of crying, which I thought was very interesting. And I found that so interesting because apparently, according to Veronica Cartwright, who played Lambert in the first one, she was originally offered the part of Ripley. And it would be interesting and cute to think if that actually now she has, through Kaylee Spaney, actually got the lead role in an Alien film. The homage and cliches back to the other films can get a bit annoying at times because you just think, oh, I don't believe they made that so obvious, and breaks away from the believability of the characters in the film. Now, I'm not going to show a spoiler, but the one that made me cringe the most and thought, oh, I can't believe they did that, was when in Alien Romulus they paid homage to this line from Aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
But again, that's me personally. I didn't like that, but I can see a lot of people find that funny and amusing and going along with it, which happens a lot in the film. It does make a lot of homages and references back to the other Alien films, not just the original ones, also Prometheus and the other prequels, which to me spoilt it in that it's a good film. Alien Romulus is a brilliant film. It didn't need to keep on making references, and also the references at times can be weak and forced. Now, as I thought when I was watching it, 90% of the film is brilliant and totally entertaining. 10% you need to leave your brain at the door before you come in, and that 10% happens at the end of the film, and I'm not going to give anything away, but it was trying to do homage to Prometheus and that absolute godforsaken, awful human-alien hybrid in Alien Resurrection. That spoilt the film, and also it went totally overboard and unbelievable. And there will definitely be people who appreciated and enjoyed that. But this is what is interesting about Alien Romulus. Even though it spoilt the film and it took it into a realm where it was totally unbelievable, it still was good. They pulled it off in a good way. At the end of the day, it doesn't pretend to be anything it isn't. It's not trying, as I've said, to be highbrow and put meanings into things like Prometheus did and others. It's an action film, it's a horror film, it's got suspense, it meets all those facts. So this is value for money. You're getting non-stop action. There's no boredom bits in it. The plot is paper thin. It really is paper thin. The biggest compliment I could give to the film is that it seemed half the length of what it was. It flashed right by, and for a film to do that means that it's kept you entertained and engaged with it. So, on that alone, it's definitely worth to go to see. If anyone's planning to see this, I'd advise you strongly, do not wait for it to come onto the television or be able to get it from Netflix or whatever. Go to see it on the biggest screen format you can, preferably IMAX, because the visuals and the action are totally amazing and demand that big screen format. And the sound, I have to mention the sound. The sound was really impressive and added to the atmosphere, and you could literally feel the bass in your chest vibrating away in scenes. So my conclusion, my old fast conclusion to this, definitely it's a success. And if I was to put the Alien films in order of the ones that are the most enjoyable, I'd say number one, of course, Alien, then Aliens, and then definitely Alien Romulus. It really deserves to be put in third place beyond the others that came after Aliens. So that's my review, Dons. I say try to get to see it on the big screen, because you'll regret not seeing it on the big screen when you watch it on your television. So I'll leave that, my lovelies. Bye bye for now.